How we doing? Welcome to Wasted Lunch, a perfect place to waste your lunch. I'm Paul McVeigh, your host. It is a beautiful Friday, TGIF, here in Northeast Ohio. Time is 12:01 Oven Standard, and I'm surrounded by wrapping paper and all kinds of gift packaging paraphernalia. 'Tis the season to have lots of tape and paper and bows and scissors and all that kind of stuff on the kitchen table. And so that's what I got going on around me right now. I was just looking down. I didn't really look close at my tie here. Say, check it out. Little Santa Claus is on there. Yeah. Actually, pretty cool tie here. Anyways, yeah. I guess I'm showing off my tie now. But, anyways, yeah. Watched a couple movies last night. I really couch potatoed it out last night. I think I deserved it. I was pretty busy yesterday, picking up around the house, trying to make things a little easier on my wife. And so then at the end of the day, yeah, I did a little flopping on the couch and I watched a couple movies. Watched March of the Wooden Soldiers. I think it was made in 1934 with Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy in it. Great classic movie. How we doing, Mike? Mike Lent is joining us. What's up, dude? I watched March of the Wooden Soldiers with Laurel and Hardy in it. Now, to say they star in it would be... I don't know how accurate that would be. They're both in it. They do get quite a bit of screen time, but they're not necessarily the lead characters of the story. So, there's a girl and a guy lead besides them because, you got to have the romantic interest story going on. So, there is that. Let's see, Little Bo Peep and, oh goodness, I'm trying to think of who the male character was. Tom, I think. Anyways, and of course you've got, what the heck's the guy's name? Barnabas, the bad guy, who's wanting to hook up with Little Bo Peep, and she's not having it. Her mom is the old woman who lives in the shoe. And, but anyways, good classic movie. Lots of song and dance in it. More song than dance. And I got the colorized version on DVD. So, actually, yesterday I was digging through my DVD collection and looking for some of the lost Christmas DVDs. Hi, Sean. How we doing? Sean Stout's on here now. Sean says, "Nice tie." Hey, thank you. Thank you. I showed it. I showed it up close to the camera before, but I had just got on, so nobody was on at the time. Here, I'll let you see it close up here. You can see the little Santa Clauses on it. I believe this might be a light up tie of some sort, to be honest with you, because it feels like there's something in it there, but I'm not sure, because originally this was not my tie. This was my father's tie. In fact, a lot of the ties I have belong to my father, my dad. Wore a lot of suits and ties and dressed up nice. He did a lot of public speaking, and so it's one of the things I ended up sort of, I guess, inheriting from my father were his ties. Sean says, something special event today. Are you asking or telling me? Because as far as for me, there's no special events planned in my life right now. It's just, I like to look nice every now and then. When I first started doing a podcast, I was making sure that I was looking nice all the time. Okay, Sean says he's asking. No, when I first started doing a podcast, most of the time I was dressed up pretty nice. I was looking pretty spiffy. And I actually enjoy taking a little extra time and care into trying to look good and nice. And so today I had a little extra time. I wasn't in a big rush to get on here. So I figured I would get spiffied up a little bit. And so that, hence the tie. That's the big story behind it. And this shirt is actually black, and it's funny, in the camera it looks like it almost appears blue. It's actually black. I like this dress shirt of mine. It's I don't know if you could even tell, it's got a pattern here. Sean says, kind of like if Robert Englund was doing an interview. Oh my gosh. You were hung up on Robert Englund. Oh my gosh. Mike says, Paul is just feeling pretty today. Yeah. I feel pretty, oh so pretty. I think that's how the song goes. I'm not sure. Yes, I'm just feeling purty. That's all there is to that. But, yeah, you guys ever see March of the Wooden Soldiers, Laurel and Hardy? It's a Laurel and Hardy movie, so, I've got to watch it, and I watched another movie right after that. Yeah, I kept sitting my ass on that sofa and watched another movie. I went total nerd last night. Watched the March of the Wooden Soldiers, Laurel and Hardy, and then watched Walt Disney's Babes in Toyland, which I'm not sure what year that was made. 60s, I'm guessing. With Net Funicello opposite of Tommy Sands. Now, Net Funicello probably rings a bell with most people, maybe not Tommy Sands. And Ray Bolger was in it. And if you can't think of who exactly that actor was, he's the guy who played the Scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz with Judy Garland. And he was the bad guy, Barnaby or Barnabas. I don't know why the hell I can't remember what the hell his name was. Can't remember. I mix up Barnaby and Barnabas. But he was in there. Sean says, haven't seen either of those flicks. Well, what's weird is I watch them. I'm watching all these Christmas movies, and I still haven't decided whether or not Babes in Toyland is actually Christmassy or not. Okay, see, March of the Wooden Soldiers with Laurel and Hardy in it is inspired by the Babes in Toyland operetta. Okay. And Santa Claus was in it for about 3-4 minutes or so. And there are toys in it, There's a big scene where there's a toy shop. And in the Babes in Toyland movie, the one actually titled Babes in Toyland, there's a pretty big scene where the kids are in this toy shop, and so I guess that's Christmassy. But it's weird. I wouldn't say they're, some people consider them Christmas movies, but I don't really see a major Christmas connection. Well, like I said, the one Santa Claus is in it. But they're both pretty entertaining films, Now, if you don't like song and dance at all, if it totally throws you off and makes you want to puke seeing song and dance routines, then you're absolutely not going to go for either one, especially the Walt Disney one. Lots of dancing in that one. Whereas the March of the Wooden Soldiers was more singing, more opera style singing. So, if that doesn't, you absolutely cannot handle that kind of stuff, and some people can't, then these movies are not for you. But, I can't, I'm not going to go out there and say I just love a good song and dance. I'm not that guy. But I guess I sort of tolerate them. Sometimes I enjoy them, especially if they're done in a humorous way. Then I can enjoy it a hell of a lot more. But I'm so used to watching older films where so many of the films back in the days had song and dance in them that I know it's just a given in so many older films, and that I'm going to have to tolerate it or sit through it in order to watch a lot of these older flicks. So I guess that's how I stand on that. But, I don't totally hate it either. I've actually thought it would be really fun to write a musical, Let's see, Mike says Henry Kleinbach is Barnaby. Okay, yes. Yes, Mike, that's the March of the Wooden Soldiers movie. Yeah. Okay, so Barnaby was his name. Okay. I don't know why I had this conflict between Barnaby and Barnabas. Barnabas is like Barnabas Collins from Dark Shadows. That's where the hell that name comes in. If it weren't for Dark Shadows, I probably would have never heard the name Barnabas before. But, pardon me, I can definitely put up with some singing and some music that I wouldn't sit around and tap my toes to regularly. I can definitely put up with some of that for some Laurel and Hardy. And there's enough Laurel and Hardy in the March of the Wooden Soldiers for me to enjoy it. And finally, at the end of the movie, there actually is a March of the Wooden Soldiers, which is done via stop motion and is pretty damn entertaining. I'm sure it's not as exciting as it would have been back in 1934, I think is when the movie was made. It had to have been super exciting back then. But I'm a fan of stop motion, so I enjoy it still immensely. So, see, Sean says, I didn't get to see your movie collection. Okay, yeah, Sean was over at my house, and he didn't see it. And, yeah, I don't know if that's good or bad. It is not in any order. It's terrible. It's terrible. Back in the days, I used to have my movies sorted by category. And then each category was in alphabetical order. Nowadays, I don't have enough shelves. So, there are like rows of movies with a row of movies in front of it, with movies on top of those movies. It's a disaster. So, it is very hard to find what you're looking for. But, yeah, I've got a couple movies. And speaking of Laurel and Hardy, I've got an excellent, I'm not bragging about the stuff that I own. I'm just sharing it to kind of, let you guys know some of the stuff I take a particular interest in. One time as a gift, my wife got me a superb collection of Laurel and Hardy flicks on DVD, and a great collection of them. Lots of their really good shorts they had, and some of their feature-length movies too. Laurel and Hardy were just phenomenal team, you know. And, you know, I can pretty much watch them. Sean put Paul the Bragger. Yeah, that's me. I can watch Laurel and Hardy without getting burnt out on them. See, you know, I'm 43 and I've been watching them ever since I could watch movies, and I'm still not tired of Laurel and Hardy, so I don't think I'm ever going to get burnt out on them. Their humor just, you know, it ages well. It's very good humor. You know, their humor wasn't based on what was currently going on at the time they were making their movies or anything like that. And they just, you know, they had a wonderful chemistry. And both the characters complemented each other so good. And it worked. You know, and Stan Laurel was was responsible for a lot of the gags, for writing a lot of the gags and funny acts and things like that. He was very instrumental in making a lot of their films. So he was tremendously talented. Not to take away from Oliver Hardy. I mean, it's definitely half of the team too. A very big chubby half. But I mean, those guys are just, you know. Now Mike says good old fashioned slapstick. Yeah. Yeah. And and it doesn't get old watching Stan Laurel do something very questionable when it comes to intelligence, and then waiting for Hardy to react and having a good idea in your head how he's going to react already, because you've gotten to know what his characters are like, and just anticipating that reaction from him, to me, is funny in itself. It's as funny as when he finally reacts to it, just anticipating, oh gosh, I'll do this. And even if I've already seen that movie several times before, it for me doesn't get old. So, and it's also funny because Stan Laurel's characters are foolish and dumb, dim-witted, and Oliver Hardy's characters, pardon me, are not smart either, but they think that they're smart. They think that they are intellectual and refined and above Stan Laurel's character, you know, his dim-witted self, where there's just no facade. He's openly foolish. And Ollie's character, you know, believes himself to be mentally and culturally superior to Stan Laurel. And he's not. He's foolish too. Sometimes in a different way than Stan Laurel, but he's no smarter than Stan, really, when it comes down to it. And he makes some goofy ass mistakes too. So there's something funny about that. There's something funny about Ollie believing himself to be so much smarter than Stan, but the end results end up showing that he is not as clever as he believes himself to be. And that to me is funny too, because he will correct Stanley. And, you know, Stan will do something, and then Ollie will take over and show him how it's really done. And then something bad happens. You know, something goes awry when he takes over to demonstrate. And that's a beautiful thing. See my smoke went on here. So yeah, big Laurel and Hardy fan. And another thing about them that quality-wise, speaking of their quality, is that their shorts and their movies, to me, were consistently good too. Even if the material written was not necessarily the best material, the best writing ever done, their presence and how they acted was still funny enough to carry them through maybe some of the not best writing or best gags. Sean says, I remember a book called Flat Stanley. Flat Stanley, huh? Never heard of that one. I've got a pretty decent Laurel and Hardy book. I can't remember the title of it. It's a nice big book, and it has in it a little bit about just about every single short and feature film they did, and has pictures from each one. And then it has ratings to, how good that short, how good that film was. There's a rating which is done in derbies, like maybe 3.5 derbies, 4 derbies, 2 derbies. That's the stars for the rating. And Sean says, I see Scooby-Doo on your wall. Yes, that is a picture that was colored by one of my kids, and I couldn't tell you which one of the kids colored that in. So that goes, that's one of those things. It's been up there for a while. I don't know which kid colored that in. They did a pretty good job, whoever did that. I gotta say that much. But anyways, I got a question for Mike. Mike, are you wanting to go live? I'm just asking because I see your little camera symbol thing up by your picture, and you haven't been on here live before, so I was wondering if you wanted to go live. Sean says, was it Helen? I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you. Heard a dripping sound. When you're a homeowner, dripping sounds are scary. Yeah, I couldn't tell you whether it was Helen or not. I'm wanting to guess not, because that baby's been up there for a while, and the coloring is pretty good. Not trying to say anything bad about her coloring. She's a good colorer now. Sean says, could Teresa tell me who? Have a hell of a lot better chance at Teresa knowing. That's for damn sure. So, yeah. She might be able to tell us who colored it. Because I do not know. Yeah. But the Babes in Toyland thing, yeah, that's what I watched last night. I was thinking about watching one of those American Pie movies, but I ended up not watching them. And I started watching these movies while there were kids still awake. So I wasn't going to watch some American Pie shit while my kids were up and running around. But then my movie time ended up running into the late hours anyways. But I'm a sucker for those old Disney live action movies. I don't know why. Sean says, I watched Black Panther last night. How was that? Was it any good? I imagine that one is not little kid friendly. I don't know what it's rated, but I know my youngest son wants to watch it, but I imagine it's not a kid-friendly movie. But I'm not sure. I've never seen it. Sean says it was all right. All right. Was it was it kid-friendly or not? I mean, was it something that younger children can watch, or is it like PG-13 or R? Sean says, I think PG-13. Okay, well then my youngest son is not going to be able to watch it. Yeah, it's funny about kids because you got to go on a kid-by-kid basis. You know, I mean, there is the rating system by the MPAA, but you got to use your own discretion too. There are some things in movies that will affect one of my kids, okay, of a certain age, and then it might not have any effect on maybe even a kid younger, just because of who that kid is, because of the type of person they are. So we do it on a kid-by-kid basis. Sean says, how old is Paul? Paul is 10, but I can say normally I do not let him watch PG-13 movies. Because he's very impressionable in some ways. Like I said, we do it on a kid-by-kid basis, which, you know, some of the kids might think, well, that's not fair. Because maybe one kid started watching PG-13 movies or some PG-13 movies a little earlier than the other, but for the kids' sake, that's just, you know, that's what we do. Because, you know, some people are affected more by certain things, you know, whether it's violence or whatever, and then, you know, we might have one kid that it's just like, meh, it's just a movie, it's bullshit. And another one of our kids, you know, really gets hung up or worried about the whole, you know, on-screen violence, so, you know, so we're discriminating about that stuff, I guess. Sean says, what happened to Jonah? Maybe he's at the Blue Oyster. I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't know. Maybe Jonah is there. I'm not sure. What's up, Donna? How we doing? Yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, Mike, how many kids you got? I forget. I know we've talked about this, but yeah, when it comes to kids, you know, some parents let their kids watch anything. You know, some parents are cool with their kids just watching anything on TV. And I don't know. I'm not one of those parents. I'm not one of those parents. You know, have a nephew or niece come over, stay overnight, and then all of a sudden I'll find out that, you know, they're allowed to watch all these movies that my kids aren't, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Sean says, you know what the Blue Oyster is, right? Yes, I do. I remember that from Police Academy. Mike put, haha, Blue Oyster. Mike has 3 kids. Okay, so Mike, you know, when it comes to kids and watching programs and TV and stuff, are you know, are you the kind of parent who you know, is more picky about what your kids are allowed to watch, or when they were younger, what they were allowed to watch, or are you more permissive where you're just like, you know, you can watch whatever you want? You know, there's, you know, which I'm not talking about bad about my siblings, but I'm just saying, you know, like, one of my nephews, years ago when they stayed overnight, got away with watching something that he shouldn't have. And my sister's like, oh my gosh, you let him watch this movie. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even know, and this and that. And then a year or so passes by, and he's watching all this shit where I'm like, oh my gosh, where I wouldn't let my kids watch it at that age. And I'm like, wow, how it's changed, you know. I'm like, you know, Mike says, my youngest is 14 and he watches whatever he wants. Okay. Yeah, my thing is, like I said, I've got kids who, you know, they see things on TV and it doesn't, you know, it just kind of rolls off the shoulder and they're like, it doesn't bother them at all. And then I've got other kids who really get hung up on things, you know, violence and stuff really bothers them. So Mike says when he was younger, it was a different story. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. My mentality has been, I guess, that you know, you're only a kid once, and it doesn't last that long anyways. So it's like, you know, I try not to speed up the whole process. You know, I don't want my kids to grow up to be completely naive or anything like that, but then again, I don't want them to learn from TV or movies either of what life is supposedly about. But, you know, just, I don't know. You know, once they get to being older teenagers and stuff, they're going to end up being allowed to watch all kinds of shit. And I don't know. It's just, I guess, how we do it here. But it's funny, though, that you can have two kids that can be completely different by, you know, and how they're affected by what they watch and listen to. So, yeah, I've been looking for this movie that I know I bought, and I'm thinking the name of it is A Christmas Story, but it is not the one with Ralphie and the BB gun. It is one about Santa Claus, and I think it was made in Finland or something, and I think the name of it is A Christmas Story, and got it last Christmas season, and I don't know where the hell it was. So I was digging through the movies last night trying to find that bad boy. And, you know, because I got a feeling what's going to happen is what happened with some of the Halloween movies. Right after Christmas is over, then I'm going to find these hidden Christmas movies, you know, after the fact. Because I found some Halloween ones like that, too. I found some of that one. Sean says, yes, I've heard of that one. Okay. Well, I think that's a title. And, you know, I don't know how close of a translation that is from Finnish to English or whatever. But, you know, because if it was an American-made film, I'm sure it would have had a different title, you know, than A Christmas Story, because, of course, there's already the monumental cult classic A Christmas Story, and nobody would want to confuse it. Okay, Sean says it is the title. Okay, I thought so. But yeah, if you made an American movie, the last thing you'd want to do, I would imagine, is name it the same thing as a movie that is so beloved as A Christmas Story. You wouldn't want a confusion, or would you want a confusion? Get people to accidentally buy your movie, I guess. But I remember the movie being good. I remember it was good. I don't remember the story all the way through it. But it was a good movie. I just don't recall the whole story. I think it was kind of sad, too. I think there was some sad stuff in the beginning of the movie. I think something bad happened to Santa Claus and his wife or something, but I can't remember. Sean says it's going to confuse a lot of shoppers, LOL. Yeah. Well, the thing that made it not confusing to me was that I remembered Santa Claus was on the front of it, I believe, with a big white beard and everything. So it was like, and I think one of my cousins told me, "Oh gosh, it's a great movie. It's wonderful," and took her and so on. After hearing what she had to say about the movie, because I'd seen it in Walmart. Then I decided, oh yeah, I'm going to go get that. So then I turned around and I ended up getting it. Sean says, speaking of gift shoppers, I got to give my mom some ideas. Yeah, you're pushing it, buddy. You were really pushing it. Yeah, your mom needs to know what the heck she's getting you, man. I don't know how it is in your household, but, we're past the buying stage. We are past that. We did a lot of shopping a month early. So, been hoarding up gifts, and hiding them away for a while now, which isn't fun living around gifts, but but yeah, your mom should know what the hell you want, dude. Because I'll tell you, having the Christmas shopping done, sort of early, I guess, is a good feeling. Now it's just to finish wrapping everything. Of course, your parents have less kids to get stuff for than we do. That makes it a little easier for them. I mean, when you've got 8 different kids to buy stuff for, it pays to go early. So yeah, what do you guys want for Christmas? What would be your ideal Christmas gift? What is something that you would want for Christmas? I'm not offering to get it or any shit like that. I'm just asking. I'll tell you, I threw out quite a few gift ideas to my wife. Threw out some board game ideas. What else did I throw out there? I don't know. I know I threw out board games. There were a couple board games that I'm interested in. Don't know if I'll get them for Christmas or not. I'm sure I'm going to get something cool, though. My wife threw out several ideas of all different little things she wouldn't mind having, and then one big gift idea, and that jewelry for the big gift. Sean said, I think they're done with everyone else except me, so you're being the pain in the ass in your house, huh? Well, Sean, what is something you'd like for Christmas anyways? How about you, Mike? And hell, anybody else who might watch us after the fact, after it's recorded, share what your Christmas wishes are. I was surprised when I had a Christmas party and Santa Claus was over. I heard tell, although I wasn't there when Santa was there, I heard tell that, some of the kids had some different kinds of requests for Christmas gifts. I believe one of them I heard was ending world hunger. Did you ever hear of a kid actually asking for that? Well, I guess that happened. Sean says it's nothing new. It happens every year. Okay, so you are the thorn in your parents' Christmas gift side. Yeah. I can't. I give you hell over it, but I'm I'm bad too. I didn't wait this damn long to let my wife know what I wanted. I wanted to throw some ideas out there, so I wasn't getting, like bakeware or something like that for Christmas, or or chick flicks or something, you know. But when you don't have any idea what to get somebody, that's when you get them the gift card. You get them the gift card. I don't know what the hell they want. I'm gonna get them a damn gift card. Get them an Amazon card, a Walmart card, some shit like that. Although I think anymore Amazon's better. Definitely a lot more options than Walmart. But gift cards are good for that. Gift cards are good for that. Now, Teresa thinks that gift cards aren't good and that when somebody opens something, they don't instantly have something, a shiny present or a nice new thing. So Teresa's doesn't like to get gift cards as much as I do for people. But when you got somebody like you, Sean, who won't tell anybody what the hell they want, then they gotta guess. And that's the good thing about the gift card is, when you get somebody a gift card, they're gonna get, they're gonna choose the absolute perfect present for themselves because they know what they want. Which, two of my oldest kids don't live here anymore. Let's see. Okay, wait, hold up here. Sean says, Yogi's First Christmas versus the Grinch. What was better? Oh, why you gotta ask questions like this, Sean? Okay. Let's see. If you were talking about the Grinch live action versus Yogi's First Christmas would win hands down. I don't think that's what you're asking about. I think you're asking about the old Grinch Who Stole Christmas movie, the cartoon one, the old one. Okay. Maybe the Grinch That Stole Christmas was better. But I did like Yogi's First Christmas, though. I did like it. And I hate to admit it, but it was a little bit long. Okay, it was. I hate to agree with my wife on that because she felt that way. We're watching the movie and we get over the hour mark and my wife is like messing around with a necklace or something. And I'm like, oh my gosh. She's like, I'm bored. I'm bored with this movie. See, Mike says the Grinch, hands down, is better. Yeah, I'd say the Grinch was better. Which, I still like Yogi's First Christmas, and believe me, I was more excited about seeing Yogi's First Christmas. Hell of a lot more excited about seeing that this year than seeing the Grinch again. But, that the fact that it's been decades since I've seen it had a lot to do with that anticipation. There you have the anticipation again. And but it was a good movie. It just, and the Grinch was a lot shorter, which doesn't mean it's bad. It just, everything was, packed in there and it was all good. Whereas the Yogi First Christmas did sort of drag on a little bit. Sean says, I think they made 2 sequels. The Grinch is The Cat in the Hat, and Halloween is a Grinch Night. I've never seen either one of those. Ow. Cracked my elbow on the table there. I've never seen either one of those sequels. So, I'd watch them, but I have not seen them. I've got the Christmas fly buzzing around me. The Christmas fly in the house. I think we have one fly in here. It's our pet fly. And it wants to bother me right now. Buzzing about, being a nuisance. I'll tell you what, speaking of bugs, I know our house is not the only one who's had them. My sister had a lot of these too. These damn fruit fly things. I guess my nephew Sean was vacuuming fruit flies out of the air with a vacuum cleaner hose. That's how the fruit flies got dealt with in my sister's house, the vacuum cleaner. But yeah, these damn fruit flies, it doesn't matter if, our dishes are cleaned right after we eat and no food's left out or whatever. These damn fruit flies seem to have attacked us. Like the beginning of December, all of a sudden these fruit flies seem to come out of nowhere. It's like, you little bastards. But yeah, my sister was telling me that my nephew was going around the house and sucking them up with a vacuum cleaner. As Sean says, your wife did not like Yogi's first Christmas. Well, she didn't hate it, but after, like I said, after about the hour mark, she, Teresa's just like, this movie's getting boring. And as much as I hate to agree with her on it, not that I have a problem agreeing with her on stuff, but because of that nostalgic spot in my heart for that movie, I don't want to agree with her on it. But yeah, it is over long, I guess you would say. It is a little bit too long of a movie, which usually is not a factor with me, because it's like, well, if a movie's good and it's longer, then there's more good. But sometimes things are drug out a little bit too much in movies, and there is a reason why movies are usually kept down to a certain length, to keep them engaging and enjoyable. But just like this one Frosty movie we have, where Frosty and Rudolph are in it, and their claymation, it was by Rankin and Bass, and they end up being involved in a circus. Can't remember the name of it. I don't know if it was, I can't remember the damn title of it, but Frosty and Rudolph are both in it. And it's stop motion, and the movie was just way too damn long. And I love those Rankin and Bass movies. I love them. They're, there's something, I don't know, something so, I don't know, comforting or just something, there's some kind of a charm to those movies that I pretty much like all of them, but this one movie with Rudolph and Frosty in it, that stop motion, you guys might know the name of, it was way too damn long. Okay, Sean put Frosty and Rudolph's Christmas in July. Yep. That's the movie. That is the movie. It was over long. It was way too long. And another thing was, a lot of the songs were not very good in it. Because I got it as part of this Christmas collection, right? And I'm like, I swore I saw a Frosty stop motion when I was a kid, but I don't remember what it is. And then I saw it was this, and I'm like, okay, well, why wasn't this a classic? Why isn't this played all the time? Well, I found out when I watched the movie. I found that out by watching the movie, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, this movie is too long, and a lot of the songs were not good. They weren't catchy, they weren't cute, there were too many songs that just were not good, and it just seemed to drag on and on and on. It's not to say the movie was horrible, completely terrible, but I mean, there were good things about the movie, but damn did it drag on. That Frosty and Rudolph's Christmas in July, I mean, it felt like Gone with the Wind or something was in the DVD player. It just seemed to take forever to get through it. And that's not a feeling you should have when you're watching a movie. You know, you should have the feeling like when it's done, you're like, oh man, I wish there was more of that, you know. Sean says, what are some movies you watch every Christmas? Okay, the stop motion babies that we watch every year are Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Year Without a Santa Claus, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Always watch those every year. Let's see, we watch a movie called Scrooge, which I know I've talked about before. Albert Finney plays Scrooge. It's a musical that I think was made for British television back in the 80s or 70s. Anyways, watch that. Although my wife doesn't care for it too much, I love it. Watch that. Watch Christmas Carol with George C. Scott in it. Watch, what else did we watch? Well, now we have a Muppet Christmas to watch, so that's gonna be turned into our, another annual flick to watch. Watch that. Grinch That Stole Christmas, another movie that we didn't have until recently, I hate to admit it, but was Charlie Brown Christmas, so now that's going to be an annual movie, that, It's a Wonderful Life, watch that every year. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones that we absolutely have to watch every year. I don't know. Those are some of the movies that we, find time to watch once a year for certain. Yeah. How about you guys? What are your have to see movies of the season? Oh, here they are. But those are the ones I have to, that we've pretty much gotta watch. Gotta watch them. Christmas movies. And I'll admit, I find the time to watch Christmas movies much more than my wife. My wife gets done working, and then when she gets home, she ends up being busy till she goes to sleep anyways. Oh my gosh, I don't know how the hell she does it, but I will, I'll be at the end of the day and I'll be like, I am putting my feet up. My feet are sore. I'm putting my feet up and I'm going to watch something on TV, whereas Teresa isn't like that. She will still have some shit to do and she'll do it. What's up, Tim? See, Tim's watching. Talk about Christmas movies that we love to watch every year. What's some of you guys' ideas of the annual ones? I mean, if, like I said, I've mentioned it before. You guys have heard me talk about that Night They Saved Christmas. That's a movie that I'd love to have on DVD, which as far as I know, they haven't made it in Region 1 DVD yet. So that's one of those movies I still wish I had no matter what region. I'd get one of those region-free DVD players just to watch it. It's funny how cheap DVD players are now. It is so strange how cheap they are. But let's see. What's going on with you, Tim? What's happening? Got a list of movies that you have to watch every year? But there were some Halloween flicks that I just found. Like last week, I stumbled across them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I would have loved to have seen these. And I even talked to my youngest daughter. I'm like, you want to watch this movie? A Halloween themed movie. And she's like, yeah, it's Christmas time, Dad. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. We can still watch it. But, she's totally into the Christmas season. And see, Sean says Home Alone 1 and 2, Grinch live action, Santa Claus 1 through 3. I'll Be Home for Christmas, 98. Elf, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Rudolph 40 and 60. Scrooged, Christmas Vacation. Yeah, well, you know what? I just seen what I see on your list. That Christmas Vacation. I don't know if we have National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That's one that we should have, though, if we don't have it. The Santa Claus movies. We don't have those. Those were good movies. I don't know why I don't have those. Because they were good. I'm talking the ones with Tim Allen in them, right? Yeah, those were good movies. I don't know why the hell we don't have those. I don't know why I don't have National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I don't know. Because I enjoyed that movie. That was another movie. Yet another damn movie that I watched in the theater. It's so funny. Because, like, we'll be talking about these movies, and it's like all these movies that were, like, from, like, 1995 and earlier, I had seen in the theater. And then once you go after, like, 1995, I've barely seen anything in the theater. Mike says, the original Die Hard is the best Christmas movie ever made. Oh my gosh. Well, you know what? Here, I'm gonna make a confession here. I haven't watched Die Hard before. How sad is that, right? So I don't know if you're joking or not. Let's see. I mean, is there anything Christmassy about Die Hard? Are you serious or are you joking? Sean says they made a Rudolph short in the 40s and a Rankin and Bass special in the 60s. Okay, I'm trying to... Yeah, dude, when you said the 40s, I'm trying to think of what the hell that is. In fact, I'm going to write that down. If I can find a pen. Yeah, there's something going on with my sinuses here. Well, it's Rudolph. 40s, huh? Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one. Of course, I've seen the one Rankin and Bass made. That's one of my annual movies. You know, another movie that turned into a Christmas annual movie for my wife and I that I had never seen before I got with my wife was White Christmas with Danny Kaye and Bing Crosby. I'd never watched that before. Let's see. Sean says it's on YouTube. I've seen it over 1,000 times. Literally over 1,000 times. I'm going to have to check it out. It was made in the 40s and it's a Rudolph show. I seen somebody on Facebook, on a Facebook group I'm in, talking about how they just discovered for themselves Santa Claus versus the Martians, or Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. I can't remember how it's titled. But I think it was made in the 50s or early 60s. And I've seen the movie. I think I have it. Talk about a bizarre, strange movie is that Santa Claus and the Martians one. Boy, that's a weird movie. It's so odd. But yeah, somebody in a Facebook group had just stumbled across it, and they said, you know, they gave it a 4-star rating, and now it's become an instant classic with them. Sean says now people are offended by Rudolph. What? What would offend? What would be offensive about Rudolph? people are getting offended nowadays because they want to be offended. We're at that point. We're at that point where people are offended because they've decided they want to be pissed off about something, where they seek it out, And to me, that just means you're a miserable ass person if you are actively looking for reasons to be upset. And I believe that's what's going on. I believe that's what's going on in our society nowadays. People are looking to be pissed off. Let's see. Sean says because Rudolph was bullied. I know, but the thing is, Rudolph ends up coming out on top. Okay, he was bullied. He was picked on because he was different, but he ended up overcoming that. So I wouldn't see why it'd be offensive. I don't understand that. And, going back to people being easily offended or whatever, I think it's an identity problem. I think it's a lack of identity that so many people have nowadays. I think that's where the shit's coming from. Is people are, losing their identities and they want something to fight about. They want something to identify with and bitch about. They want to have a stand, That's so many people's way of their life having meaning now, is fighting about shit, bitching about stuff, Sean says they're crybabies. Baby, it's cold outside is offensive now, too. Yeah, I heard that. You know what? People who think that, get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of there. I mean, I used to joke about that song. I wasn't offended by it, but I used to joke about that song, about being a guy who wanted to get some, He wanted to stay overnight at this chick's house. So he was trying to, talk his way and schmooze his way into staying in the house, which he is. He's doing that. But I never found it offensive. I never thought, man, what a low-down piece of shit this guy is. This song needs taken off the air. They shouldn't play it. And is that a real thing? I mean, are people really bitching about that? Or is that just like a rumor that went around on Facebook? Does anybody know if there's any facts to this? If there's any, or if this is just something that got spread around Facebook? Sean says they're the worst of our culture. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, this PC bullshit it got old a long time ago, years ago, in my opinion. In my opinion, that shit should have been played out a long ass time ago. I don't know, but yeah, I think it's an identity problem. It's getting to the point where so many people. Sean says no. A radio station in Ohio stopped playing it because one listener called and complained. You know what? Piss on that one listener. What about the thousands of other people who do want to hear it, Jeez. Yeah. That's people shitting on stuff. People like to shit on stuff. I don't know. I'm glad I'm not like that. I'm really glad I'm not. I don't have that kind of thinking, because it just seems like an unhappy way to live, constantly looking for a fight, constantly looking for something to bitch about. Jeez. And it's like, if you take that mentality and keep going with it, it's like nobody's allowed to have opinions about anything. Nobody's allowed to have preferences. Nobody's allowed to have their own viewpoints on stuff. They just all got to be generic, and that's bullshit. Sean says these people should never watch Nestor the donkey. No. If they're offended by Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, yeah, Nestor the donkey would, the long-eared donkey would definitely hurt their feelings even more. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, do you guys personally know people who are like this? Who are like these justice warriors? Is that what it's called? Or am I pointing the finger at the wrong people? Sean says Dumbo. Yeah, there's another one. I mean, do you guys personally know people who are like that? Or is this just like a social media thing? Sean says yes. Yes, you know people who are like this. I mean, are they happy people? Are they happy? I couldn't see how you'd be happy. Sean says some I went to school with. Yeah, you're younger, so you probably have been around more people like that than I have. More people my age tend to, tell it is or tell it how they think it is. I just, yeah. It's, I don't know. Because I wonder, I asked you if you guys knew people like that because I wondered, is this just, like something people mostly do when they're on social media? They like, once they get behind their computer, or in front of their computer, they're all of a sudden fighters for this just cause. They're standing up against, all this wrong shit, and they're trying to right all the wrongdoing in this world. Is that mostly what it is? Sean says they seemed happy, but you could kind of tell that they were the most miserable people on God's green earth. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't see how you'd be happy living with that mentality. Because if you look hard enough, you're going to find shit that's offensive or whatever, but, that's a totally pessimistic way to live your life. Sean says, oops, I just offended someone. I said God that could be offensive to atheists / agnostic. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's bullshit. It's bullshit, man. I don't know. I guess I'm not easily offended because I've got that mentality to to where I know a lot of different people. I get along with people who have different viewpoints than me on some things that two other people could absolutely not get along with each other if they had different viewpoints over something. I don't get caught up in the political bullshit that has so many people divided. It has families divided, for crying out loud, over over political shit. Family members who will be at odds with one another because of the whole political game. And to me, it's silly. It's silly. I'm not gonna let politics or religion even stand in the way of getting along with and communicating with somebody I love. I'm not gonna let that do that. I guess if somebody else wants to be pissed about it, there's nothing I can do. But personally, I don't. I'm not going to jump on the crusader wagon about something. it's a waste of time, and it's a waste of my life. You know, staying positive is more important to me than looking for a way to shit on my own life, which is what I think it is. Sean says it could be offensive to Buddhists, pagans, Satanists, atheists, crybabies, wimps, and pussies. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's damn Christmas fly, man. It's Christmas fly. Remember the big Christmas debate a couple of years ago? It's offensive to say Merry Christmas. Remember that shit? Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Talk about much ado about nothing. Oh my gosh. I remember that one. Remember people started saying happy holidays at businesses and stuff. And I'd say, well, Merry Christmas, and I think I would have been saying Merry Christmas no matter what faith I was, just because it's like a tradition, Merry Christmas. I'm not from Britain. I guess they say Happy Christmas there, but the Happy Holidays. That way it didn't offend anybody. Remember that shit? That was cheesy too. I mean, I don't know. Whatever. I can't buy into that shit. I guess I'm an offensive person. What do they call it? Triggering somebody? Triggering them? That's what they call it. Triggering. You trigger somebody. Sean says, yeah, I remember sooner or later, happy holidays will also be offensive when these people realize holiday means holy day. Yeah, you got a point there. Mike says that was a bunch of horse shit. It was. It was horse shit. It's horse shit. I mean, if somebody told me, Buddha bless you or something like that, okay, even though I'm not, as Sean puts it, a Buddhist, I'm not going to get offended over the shit, It's going to be like, well, that guy's a Buddhist. So he said Buddha bless you or something like that, Big deal, I'm not going to let it offend me when somebody wishes me well, You're an asshole because you wished me well, but you were talking about this specific deity or religion. Yeah, I'm offended by it. Come on, get the hell out of here. It's idiotic. Sean says Season's Greetings was another one they were trying to push. Yeah, I forgot about that one, Sean. Forgot about Season's Greetings. That's a nice scrubbed up statement to keep from hurting anybody's little feelings. Their little feelings. Don't want to hurt their little feelings. Everybody's got those little feelings in them. It'd be terrible to hurt them, to offend them. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. Now punching somebody in the fucking mouth, now that's a way to hurt somebody's feelings. Calling them an asshole, that's a way to hurt somebody's feelings. That's how you hurt somebody's feelings. But Merry Christmas, come on. Jeez. Let's see, Sean says, those were the people that were offended by happy holidays. Okay, so in order to, since holiday was still offensive because, holy day, then there was Season's Greetings. Oh gosh. I was listening to some people talking on a podcast, I guess you'd call it, talking about gender-neutral bathrooms. What do you think about those? Just general gender-neutral bathrooms, public ones. What do you think? How would that go? I haven't seen any of these anywhere. I've seen family restrooms at places, like at the Y, places like that, where I guess you can, take your kids to the bathroom or whatever. But gender neutral bathrooms. Anybody ever actually seen one in public somewhere? I haven't seen one. Or how comfortable would you guys be with going to a gender neutral bathroom? Would that be uncomfortable? I would think ladies wouldn't like that. The average lady wouldn't be too hot on that. Gotta get some coffee. This stuff is cold. Cold coffee, not good. Here we go, nice and hot. I think. Oh, well. Let's see. Let's see. Sean puts, kids, has anyone ever asked what impact it will have on children? I don't know. I mean, if some people had their way, all kids would be taught, completely different than kids have been taught forever. And there wouldn't be girls and boys. There'd be people. There wouldn't be a such thing as sex. Which is ridiculous, because there is a such thing as sex. There is a such thing as gender. I mean, it's a fact. It exists. But what's going on nowadays is a denial of reality, of science. People want to pretend there's something they're not. Sean says, I'm telling you, those people are pedophiles. Yeah. Well, you gotta wonder about that shit too. I mean, I don't know, man. It's a screwed up situation. It really is. I seen some shit on YouTube one time. It kind of turned my stomach. These school in Sweden where they're teaching these boys to be effeminate and stuff. And like, what the fuck? It's like, and here's the thing. I am not homophobic or anything like that. Okay? I'm not. Okay? I believe if you're an adult, whatever, and you decide that, you are attracted to these people or whatever, you're of age, and, you're a dude and you like dudes, or a girl and you like girls or whatever, God love you. That's your thing. That's your choice. I don't want somebody telling me, I wouldn't want somebody telling me I can't date girls, ladies, so God love you, go about your business, do your thing or whatever. But it being forced upon people, to teach kids at a young age, that's where it gets weird, guys. Sean says, kindergarten cop would also be offensive. Remember that boys said boys have a penis and girls have a vagina. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I'm all about, people, like I said, of age or whatever, doing what they want to do as long as they're not hurting people and breaking the law. But, I mean, for crying out loud, if you're a guy and you like guys or whatever, you're gay. I mean, that's just, and if you're a lady and you like ladies or whatever, then you're a lesbian, okay? But you're still a dude who likes dudes, okay? You're still a guy, and, or you started out life as a man, but, I don't know. It's just, everything's getting all confusing, and, I don't know. It's a fucking mess, man. If you were wanting to go by these rules that whoever is making up out there, all these people about being careful with these fucking pronouns and shit. I was listening to them talk about it on Joe Rogan about all these different pronouns and shit they got. All these special new pronouns for people. Instead of saying his or her or him or her and all these new ones. And I'm like, this is just getting ridiculous. It's absolutely, it's bullshit. Sean says these people are the reason humans will go extinct. Yeah, well, I mean, facing reality is something grown people need to do. You know, that is one of the big parts about being a big boy or a big girl. It always has been. Facing fucking reality. You know, facing the truth. That is what you're supposed to do when you're a grown up. Is face the damn truth. And that is what so many people are trying to deny nowadays. Like I said, you know, I don't have an agenda to where I think it's up for me to tell people, you know, some dude he's not allowed to like wieners or whatever. I don't think that's up to me to tell, you know, some other man that, you know, or hate him or I'm going to, you know, I don't believe people should get beat up or have, you know, violent shit happen to them because of their preference. Okay, that's not my thing. But I don't think that other people should be trying to, you know, ram their ideologies down other people's throats, you know. I didn't have any puns intended there. Sean says some people were trying to get laws so 16-year-olds could vote. Like the hell have they done? Okay, well, I think you mean, what the hell have they done? Yeah, 16's way too young. 16 is way too young. I mean, shit, when you're 18, you're still thinking with your groin. Not saying I disagree with voting age being 18. You know, I mean, but 16, shit. I can't think of too many rational decisions I made when I was 16. I'm going to go out on a limb and speak for Mike. I'll bet Mike didn't make a whole hell of a lot of rational decisions either when he was 16, did you, Mike? I was an idiot when I was 16. Believe me, nobody wanted my vote then. Shit. Well, I'll bet that law will not go through. I don't think 16-year-olds are going to be allowed to vote. That's my prediction on that. We'll see if it, you know, comes to pass or not, but I don't think it will. I mean, because hell, you'd think anymore, I don't know, you would think kids nowadays are less responsible than they used to be. I mean, think about it. There was a time in which, you know, a lot of 16-year-olds had full-time jobs. You know, there was a time when, you know, I mean, a lot of 16-year-olds, shit, had families going by then and were married. But not now. See, Sean says you can go to war, determine the fate of the entire country, voting, but you cannot open a cold one. Like, tell me how this makes sense. That's the one that always bothered me, was that, you know, you could go to war and get blown up, but you can't get a beer. You know? I've always wondered about that one myself. You can get your ass shot off protecting your country, but you can't have a beer. That's one that, yeah, I'm right with you on that one. That one doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. I wondered that. But anyways, of course, you know, somebody could say, well, Paul, well, What do you mean they shouldn't be allowed to vote? They're allowed to drive a car, you know, which is scary. I mean, that's scary shit. You know, 16-year-olds driving, which they've been allowed to drive at 16 for ages, but, you know, that's kind of scary shit, too. Let's see, yeah, Sean replied, some could even argue that the driving age is too low. Yeah, that's funny, because I was just talking about that. You know, well, I'm not saying it is too low. I mean, it's, you know, a lot of kids, though, when they're 16 are idiots. You know, I mean, I didn't have my driver's license when I was 16. And I'll be honest, I knew that I shouldn't have my driver's license when I was 16. I knew I shouldn't have had it. So I wasn't fighting with my parents and trying to get them when I was 16. What also didn't help was they got rid of driver's education at the high school. See, they used to have it at the high school. My sister graduated a few years before I did, and they still had driver's ed at school, which was a lot more affordable than a driving school. So she took driver's ed. But they had gotten rid of driver's ed when I started going to high school, so that helped that too. What's up, Jimmy? We're talking about, we've been talking about people's feelings getting hurt so much nowadays over everything. You know, the culture we live in now. How everything seems to be offensive to somebody. I'm sure you have an opinion on that, Jim. Jimmy boy. You just can't do anything nowadays without hurting somebody's little old feelings. It's what we were talking about for a long time. Jimmy says, afternoon, sir. Homesick today. Sick day. Jimmy's playing hooky. Jimmy's playing hooky. Well, welcome to the show, Jimmy. Hopefully we don't say anything that triggers you or hurts your feelings. You know, yeah, that's the kind of shit we were talking about. You know about that shit. You know about the culture we live in now with the PC shit and all that. Yeah, there's so many. Yeah. What's wrong with you, Jimmy? What's ailing you? You got the flu? Which, you know, what's ailing you? Flu? Stomach flu? Hopefully no communicable diseases or anything like that. Jimmy says, I agree. In my opinion, it's from almost a decade of leadership that kowtowed to every complaint and gripe that every minority group had to cry about. Well, that might have something to do with it, too. Jimmy says, flu, it is. At least it seems. Yeah. You know, Jimmy, I was talking, one of my theories was maybe it's people having a lack of identity problems. People having a lack of identity nowadays. And just wanting to find causes and shit, stuff to bitch about and get behind to feel like they are somebody, you know. But maybe it has something to do with what you're talking about too. But that was just a theory I was throwing out there, you know, because obviously people are, obviously we are at a state where people are having more mental problems than you know, or more trouble. You know, suicide is at a high record level now. So people are having mental problems, and I can't help but think that, it's because of our culture. Jimmy says you can't please everybody all the time, but it was attempted, and this is the end result. A nation is only as good as its leadership. Yeah. Well, there's something to be said about that, and then the leadership thing. It does seem that we tend to have trends following our leader. Whiny, bitchy, gripey leaders, and then people seem to whine and gripe and bitch more. So I can see some truth in what you're saying. I can see the truth in that. And you can't please everybody all the time, and that's the thing. That is the opposite of the mentality that seems so rampant in our country now, is trying to please everybody all the fucking time. Which of course is impossible, but so many people strive for it, and I think they give themselves pats on the back. I'm a good guy. I'm a good gal. I love everybody. I stand up for everybody. I'm all about supporting the underdog and all that good shit. I don't like bullies. Never have. But, some of these warriors, I don't know. Am I right when I say social justice warriors, or am I pointing at the wrong people? I don't want to, I want to make sure that, is that what some of these people call themselves, social justice warriors? Or am I wrong here? I could be wrong. But isn't that what some of these people are called? Social justice warriors or some shit like that. Sean, you know something about these people. You went to school with a lot of these people from the sounds of it. Social justice warriors. Does that title ring a bell? See, Jimmy says we get rid of mental institutions and leave the burden on the police and prison system to deal with. We let our elected officials spend our money on all the wrong places. Instead of vet hospitals and care facilities for all people, we get turtle tunnels in California and rain machines in Iowa. Yeah, what the hell kind of spending is that? Yeah. You're right, and our elected officials, they do what we don't want them to do. They haven't been representing us for a while, a lot of these damn politicians. Sean says SJW. Yeah, okay. Sean says everyone they disagree with is a Nazi. And see, that's the thing. What's up, Jennifer? And that's the thing. Is if a person doesn't have an opinion, people need to have opinions about shit. Different opinions should be welcomed. They should. If you're going to have intelligent dialogue, people got to have opinions. You got to know where people stand. And when you try and tell somebody that they're not allowed to have an independent opinion, it's ignorant. It's ignorant. It's, trying to shut somebody up to support your narrative is crushing free speech in itself, isn't it? Expecting everybody to see things the same way you do. I don't know. I haven't had this problem in my life. I guess I've been blessed and lucky to where I don't have a problem having my own opinion and other people having conflicting opinions. I don't have problems with people over that. I don't feel this urge or this drive inside of me to convert everybody. So I guess I'm lucky in that respect. Sean put Paul the Nazi, LOL. Sean says they gave people with dyed hair a bad name. Well, I'm just saying, I mean, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? I don't know. Yeah, that's my thing. I've never felt that it was my place to convert people. And I feel like that has made my life a hell of a lot easier than some people that I see, who are at war with everybody. It's just, geez, man, life is so short. It's so short. I wouldn't want to spend all of it fighting with people. I wouldn't want to. It's just the core things, respect other people. Show people respect is one of the big ones, Showing a little love for your fellow brothers and sisters out there. I mean, just some simple ass ideals really go a long way. Let's see, what's Jimmy got to say? Jimmy says, if you want to see some freaky shit, Paul, read the stated 45 communist goals. I'm going to write that shit down right now. 45 communist, I'll just put COMM, goals. Read the stated 45 communist goals and read the rules for radicals. These will make you think, I promise, what you are speaking of with SJWs is set up pretty clean by Saul Alinsky in Rules for Radicals. It's actually pretty creepy how his words are being put to use today. That does sound creepy. Rules for Radicals, huh? I'll write that down too. Rules for Radicals. See, Jimmy says the social justice warrior mantra is, it doesn't have to be truth, because if you tell a lie long enough and loud enough, eventually enough people take it as fact. Yeah, I think, which is screwed up. I mean, because we know it doesn't make it true. I mean, I could sit here and tell you I'm Japanese all day long, and it's not going to change the fact that I'm a honky, I mean, it's just, what the hell? 45 communist goals. Interesting. Saul Alinsky, huh? Yeah, I just, the time and the effort and the energy that people spend towards having an agenda of hate. And it's funny because the irony is there. That these people want other people to be accepted, okay, with open arms, but these people are becoming fascists themselves. I don't know if that's an accurate term, but I mean, they're turning into what they seemingly are against. Sean says, is Pavel a communist? No, I don't think he is. Jimmy says, also at least give a glance to Jacques, I'm going to try and pronounce it, Jacques Ellul's propaganda and the formation of men's attitudes. Huh. Wow. I think I can remember the title, but I need to write dude's name down. As always, Jimmy is hitting us with some interesting stuff. Sean says 1984. Jimmy put, yes, complete fascist. Okay. Yeah, what the fuck, man? I am seeing people who traditionally, this behavior started a few years back. This started a few years back that I started noticing. Oh, Jimmy said I said his name right. Wow. Woohoo. I'm not even France. I started noticing this behavior in the politicians a few years back. Now, I'm not blaming it. Well, I'm not saying it's because Obama, but I'm saying it was during the Obama administration. I started seeing all these politicians who traditionally would have been, peace-loving kind of guys, and all of a sudden they are preaching this warmongering shit, and I was like, what the hell is going on? What the fuck just happened? Started seeing this, bloodlust, really from Hillary Clinton. Started seeing a real warmongering mentality from her, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Did anybody else notice that? With the shit in Syria and stuff? I mean, let's see. Sean says, where's Harvey Krinkle from? I think Harvey is from Philadelphia. Jimmy says, if you like Orwell's work, you have to look at the things I mentioned. Sean says, and is he a commie? I don't think Harvey Krinkle's a commie. No. I don't know what his political affiliation is. Have to have Harvey Krinkle on the air sometime. And then maybe he can answer some of your questions for you. Yeah, but, I used to follow the whole Syria thing, the war in Syria and all that, which was very frustrating and awful. I was following that war, not just from American news. I was following it from news from all around the world, trying to get, at least opinions and what I wanted were facts, and I was paying attention to that war for a long time, and just started seeing some real warmongering cries from the political community that usually is, all about peace and love and all that kind of shit. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Sean says, what about participation trophies? What do you mean participation trophies? Are you talking about kids getting participation trophies instead of having to compete for shit? Is that what you're talking about? I've heard people talk about that a little bit. Is that the kind of shit you're talking about, Sean? Because I've heard about that. I've seen a little bit of that too, if that's what you're talking about. Sean says yes. Yeah, I've seen some of that. One of my sons is, one of my sons is in wrestling, and they don't have that kind of shit. They have a banquet once a year, and most of the guys from the wrestling team get some kind of award for whatever merit they have, but they don't get participation trophies and shit at their meets or anything. And then one of my sons is in Taekwondo and competes all the time. And when he was younger, a couple years back, when he was competing, they had that kind of stuff. But as he's gotten older, there's not so much of that. Now I understand getting something that says, I participated in this event. Okay. Just an acknowledgement that, you put your ass on the line and you went out there and got kicked in the head, but not necessarily a trophy, trophies should be, I think, reserved for, the winners. And that might sound harsh. I understand getting something that says, yeah, I participated in an event, but not something that is like a trophy to where, you've got bragging rights to, some higher, loftier position than, let's see, Sean says, who would win, Little Paul or Vinny, World Heavyweight Championship contest in Paul's backyard? I think Vinny would win right now. He's got quite a few pounds on Paul. Let's see. Paul's got better, what the hell is that? Spinning back kick or something? I'm not a Taekwondo guy. I forget what the hell this kick is that you do behind you. He's got a better kick than Vinny does, though. But Vinny's a better wrestler. But yeah, it's quite a few years difference between those two lads. But anyways, so yeah, the participation trophy, I think when you get a trophy, you need to earn it. But I don't see anything wrong with giving kids something that says they were in something. Because, I don't know about a lot of the sports, but, something like in a combative sport, I always thought, that people deserve a little recognition just for getting in the damn ring. You know what I mean? You put yourself in a ring or on a mat to potentially take an ass whooping. Okay, you go out there with the plan of giving somebody else an ass whooping, but you might receive the ass whooping, so you should have some kind of a recognition for it, not a trophy. If you didn't win, then, you don't get a friggin' trophy over it, but, something that says, yeah, I was in this event, a piece of paper or something. I don't see the harm in that, a little recognition. But Sean says, one day me and Jonah gonna have to swing by watch a movie in that little theater. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I don't make it to the theater enough. And, when I say theater, of course, I mean the theater setup I got going on in my house. I don't spend enough time in there, which I need to. But what's really fun watching in that theater are like science fiction movies with lots of shit going on. There you went, Sean. Completely change the subject. I don't know. What do you guys think about this participation trophy shit? Let's see. Jimmy says, this started with Obama, and this is my opinion. He intentionally put openly socialist and communist organizers in key positions in his cabinet. He comes from a very sketchy background, and with all this talk of racism and hate and being held accountable for your family's past, it seems kind of odd to me that the current president of the United States is held to these standards, but the former wasn't. Not at all. They say Trump's father was a Klan fan. So by proxy, so must Trump? Yet Obama's upbringing, family and close friends, was by socialists, communists, anti-imperialists, political agitators, domestic terrorists, yet not a word from the talking heads or the so-called concerned citizens. Why? Some very important questions. Yeah, shit. Very good questions. Very good questions, Jimmy. Why? Indeed. Shit, we could do a whole friggin' show on that, man. Whole friggin' show. Sean put, Paul just goes on websites and watch those good movies. Mike put, fairly certain that the participation trophy for an ass kicking is a black eye. Yeah, that's one sign you participated. Sean says, people were also debating if Santa should be female or non-binary. Dude, that shows I'm just so old-fashioned. I'm like, non-binary, what the fuck is that? You know what, though? I'm thinking about what you said, Jimmy, about, there was so much divisive talk about the racism and stuff when Obama was in. There was an agenda going on to get people fighting and bitching and split up and it's pretty disgusting shit. Oh my gosh, yeah. And I don't know. I don't know what I get from the world, or I don't let the news do my thinking for me. I pay attention to my surroundings and people who I see out in the world, and I don't know. I see. It sure seems to me that people are living more harmoniously as far as colors. People blending together and hanging out with one another seems to be at an all-time high, if you ask me, from what I see. Let's see, Jimmy puts Obama's role models were as follows: Lolo Soetoro, Frank Marshall Davis, Barack Obama Sr. Look at what these men believe. I have to look them up, because I'll admit, I did know that he followed some radical ass people, but I don't know all about these fellows. I'll admit that right now. So, Jimmy, are you wanting to go live at all? If you want to go live, we could probably do that. This radical shit. Oh, gosh. Man. I don't know. I wonder sometimes, how far can this shit go and society still stay together? You know what I mean? You guys ever wonder how far can some of this crazy shit go? How many people can keep these ideas going and still society stay running? Jimmy says divide and conquer is the oldest form of warfare that actually has proven to work through time consistently. Yeah, and that's what I think it is. I think there's been a lot of push to get the working class and black folks, or African American, I think there's been a lot of work to try and drive a wedge in between these groups of people over the, especially, let's see, Jimmy says, I'm good on live today. I wish I wasn't looking and feeling like hell, because this topic is right up my road. Okay, so you're not one to go live. Okay. Yeah, because that would have been good to have you on. Because you haven't been on here either. Neither you nor Mike has been on here. But, yeah, it seems like this one is definitely, there's a fire in you about this one. Wow. Man. It's just, I don't know. You can see it. You can see the way the news tries to steer everything down this path. And I don't know. It seems that, they definitely want everybody. Let's see, Sean puts lint loss in 2020. Okay. Sean's saying you and Mike, that Jimmy and Mike need to be running in 2020. Nice. Oh my gosh. Well, Jimmy, you're fired up, huh? Jimmy says, I have volumes of reading and opinions on the subject. Wow. Yeah, we're going to have you live about this stuff, dude. Really. Because, you know, yeah, I'd love to hear some of this stuff live from you. Because, and of course, you know, now, today you can, you know, today you're watching the show, you're participating, and you're sick as a dog. That sucks, dude. That really sucks. You know, I've been talking about I'd love to someday have this. I want to love to be able to do more of a kind of format where it's just sitting around a table, you know, and having people actually in the same damn room and doing this. I think that would be fun. Jimmy says, I will be taking the Bill Burr approach to America's population. Okay, is that where you just let nature take care of it? There's no medical or anything like that? Mike says, I can only run on the conservative Republican ticket. Okay, well that's where Mike stands on that anyways. You know, that's where Mike's coming from. Man, I don't know. I see a problem in the two-party system. It's just, it's just, you know, the division. I have to say that, you know, I'm just not very radical when it comes to this way or that way, you know. Jimmy says 80% of these people gotta go. So, are you talking like natural selection, letting that take care of the problem? Sean says, me too as well. I'd definitely be labeled as a Nazi by those freaks and lunatics. And Mike says, I agree with Jimmy. I don't know. I vouch for common fucking sense, you know. I believe there's a thing called common sense. And I believe that the word common is very key in that title. I think there is this intelligence that people are now rejecting more than ever before. This common sense attitude, you know, that's now shunning traditional ideals such as just respecting one another, treating each other as decent human beings, you know, being courteous and kind to people and shit like that. I think, you know, now all this. Let's see, what's Jimmy got on here? Jimmy says, watch Bill Burr's stand-ups on YouTube. Okay, I'm going to have to look at it on the population thing. Sean says there's an asteroid coming. Oh, well, got to get these people out of here while Jimmy is hiding in his bunker. Jimmy says common sense is not common at all. It sure doesn't seem to be. Especially if you're watching news or you're paying attention to, or some of the social media, it seems like people are really getting away from just standard common sense. You know, telling you, fucking crusaders, man. People gotta have something to fight about, man. I think it makes people feel important. They find identity in it. You know, bitching and fighting and finding shit to fight about. You know, I'm not saying there aren't things to fight about. There aren't, you know, but I mean, some of these people, that's their life. It's just seeking out things to bitch about and gripe about. You're talking earlier about that. You know, my opinion is it's got to be a miserable ass way to live. Let's see. Jimmy says, follow your feeling and not facts. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't deny the facts. I was talking about that earlier. That growing up and being a big boy or a big girl is about accepting reality. Facing facts. Isn't that a big part of what being an adult is supposed to be? Looking truth right in its face. Jimmy says, like these Antifa subhuman scumbags. Yeah, what's that shit? These guys, these gimps get all dressed up and bring sticks to shit. Don't agree with somebody and they're using violence. And this is a shit that these people, in my, traditionally would have been against. Thuggery and bullying, and now it's part of the radical toolbox that's in their toolbox to do this shit. What the fuck, man? Yeah, those guys, I don't know. I found them quite entertaining. And watched some, what's his name? Shapiro. What's his name? Mark Shapiro? Is that the guy I'm thinking of? Anybody ever watch that guy? I think that's his name. I think it's Mark. How he had problems with Antifa and shit like that, I think at Berkeley. Mike says the facts are usually altered to reinforce someone's agenda. Jimmy says it's funded by a self-loathing Jew who has a job turned in Jews hiding from Nazis. And this guy defended his actions on live television, George Soros. Okay, Jimmy says Ben. Okay, thanks for correcting me. Ben Shapiro. Okay, thanks, guys. That way I didn't keep on saying it too damn long. Ben Shapiro, yes, I paid attention to this guy a little bit. Sean says George Soros. Yeah, I've heard plenty about George Soros and the shit he funds. He's all about stirring shit up, ain't he? He's all about, to me, I just picture him as a guy, kind of messing with an ant farm, like taking two different ant farms, two different ant colonies, and kind of sticking them together. And, watching them fight and bicker, and he's just kind of like pulling strings and taking these ants from here and putting them over here and shaking them up a little bit and watching them fight. I think of that kind of shit when I think of that Soros guy. Jimmy says, Google him and begin to cringe. Well, yeah, the Ben Shapiro. Okay, now that I got his name right, yeah, I've watched some stuff of his. I've watched some stuff of his, and I've been pretty damn impressed, I must say. Let's see. Sean says he's responsible for the collapse of many governments. Okay, Soros there. Was he? I don't know. Was he involved in Greece at all? Isn't Soros? Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, what happened to Greece there? Anyways, Jimmy says Soros has an actual price on his head in Thailand, I believe, for manipulating their markets and causing an actual financial collapse. What the? Really? Somebody's wanting to Thai box his head in? Is that what you're saying? Shit. Damn it, Jimmy. Why you gotta be sick right now? Of course, I guess if you weren't sick, you wouldn't be participating anyways. Yeah, did you guys ever watch this Ben Shapiro guy? What's you guys' opinions on him? I watched some of his stuff and I was pretty damn impressed. Guys seem to be shutting some mouths, man. I've seen some debates of his. Let's see. Jimmy says, yes, he was. He funded the fascist party over there in Greece. Yeah, Greece. Talk about a success story, huh? Yeah. Let's see. Sean says, gotta go. Bye, everyone. God bless. Well, God bless you, too. Thank you, Sean. Thanks for participating. You have a good day, buddy. Sean says, oops, that's offensive. Jimmy says he is a firebrand and a smart guy. Yeah, I like I like Ben Shapiro's, that he's about facts, not feelings. I've watched quite a bit of him, and just, I'm like, and he's pretty young too, isn't he? He's a pretty young guy. He's sharp, and I like how he fights with facts. But see, that's the thing. Facts are becoming irrelevant nowadays. This is what we're talking about here. The facts are starting to become unimportant now. Just like you were saying, Jimmy, about feelings over facts. The feelings are starting to become the strength in arguments now. Yeah, it's kind of like when you watch two people argue, and then you watch the one person scream and yell, and they think that by screaming louder and yelling really loud makes them right. I watch my kids do that shit. I watch them do that, and I'll watch one of them yell, and I will say to them, yelling doesn't make you any more correct in this argument. It's because you're raising your voice does not mean that you're right. Jimmy says, I love watching him on campuses across the country, mid-30s. Yeah, I thought he was a young guy. Been very impressed with what I've seen of him. Watched him debate with, I can't even remember the guy's name. He's got a funky name. Dude from the Young Turks. Watched a debate with him. I've watched him handle some of these questions from some of these college kids. And it's been very interesting. Very interesting. And, what's funny is I watched an interview that he did on his show. He had Joe Rogan on there. And it was funny because, he doesn't bullshit about anything. Ben Shapiro doesn't bullshit about anything. When he'd have to do a commercial spot and he'd have to plug some company or whatever, he'd be like, talking to Joe Rogan, and he's like, hold on, I got to make some money now, and then he'd do it, and I'm like, the dude seems to be honest about stuff. Let's see, Jimmy says, people in this country, especially the youth, are quickly becoming indolent, lazy, rude, and entitled. Yes. And, sadly, that's a topic that comes up all the time when we're talking. Okay, Jimmy says, sink. Young Turks guy, yeah, Sink Uyghur. I don't know how the hell you pronounce his name, but yeah, I watched that debate, and that was pretty interesting. It's just wow, yeah. But yeah, Ben Shapiro, funny guy, also because he just. Like I said, that Joe Rogan one was funny as hell because he just was like, okay, I got to make some money right now. And so he'd go into his commercial shtick, and then he'd be back to talking to Joe Rogan. And I just thought that was funny. I was like, he doesn't, he doesn't try and act like he doesn't make money. He makes money and he's honest about it. And it's very interesting. Very interesting. Smart guy. Smart guy. But yeah, Jimmy. I'd like to get in a situation where I had some cameras set up sometime and actually be able to, sit around a table and kind of do a show like that every now and then, where we're sitting around a table bullshitting. And just doing that live, I think that'd be a lot of fun. Even if I couldn't do that on a regular basis, just every now and then have just a sit-down bullshitting session. I think that would be a lot of fun. And it'd be interesting because just be able to just let all the ideas fly back and forth, in real time, just like that. That'd be a lot of fun. But because everybody's got opinions on things, everybody's got opinions, and unfortunately, what do you call it in this social climate? Getting stifled so damn much. And I like hearing opinions. I like hearing opinions, even if I don't share the same opinions with people. I think it's interesting. I think maybe that's been lost too. I like hearing people when they talk about stuff if I don't understand it or don't necessarily share the same opinion. I like hearing them explain why they've came to that opinion. That's interesting to me too. Maybe that's just because I like people in general, and I like getting to know people. Maybe that's where that comes from. Whereas I think some people, don't want to hear other people's opinions about things because they just, they want a victory. They want to win under their belt, like, like they got in some debate and won, and these crusaders. And I don't know. I like hearing people talk about things. It's interesting to me. So that's why I would love to have a just sitting at the table kind of thing every now and then, and hear some people open up their brains about some things. Because, I don't know, it's interesting. Let's see, Jimmy says fast food isn't fast. Customer service is no longer of any service. Medical treatment is no treatment at all for the most part, etc., etc., etc. I honestly fear for the future of this country. How's going to hold past values, past leaders, and so on in the light and keep our country the bastion of freedom that it's been for so long? Granted, we are no angels, but I'm fairly certain we've come a lot further as a country than most on the planet, and still was able not to hold on to our identity as a proud nation. Yeah, well, yeah. Guilt is starting to become more of our identity nowadays. Guilt. Being told to feel guilty about shit. That's become a big part of our culture too. Guilt. But, yeah. Yeah, see, you should be on live, damn it. You should be on live. Yeah, we're losing our identity as a proud nation. I don't know. I worry about it too. I worry about what the hell's going to happen to us. What is going to happen to us with we do seem to be losing our identity. And that truly is a scary thing. It really is. It's I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Life is an experiment, and we are living in a very strange one with how fast information travels and how easily people are influenced nowadays. People are being guilted into so much stuff. Now I'm talking guilt. Because I think that's a big part of what's going on now, too. Guilt's being used as a tool. I remember my parents using guilt on me as a kid. You ever got parents that did that? I did. Use guilt on me. Make me feel bad about something. Try and instigate change in me. Now everybody's trying to make me feel guilty about everything. Try and make you feel guilty about what you look like, who you are. political affiliation you got, religion, old shit. I don't feel guilty. I don't buy into that shit. But I'm just saying that that's a tool that seems to be used a lot now. It's plain old, good old fashioned guilt. And that seems to help with this damn social justice warrior shit. And I think those people feel guilt too. You know, I don't know. I don't even, some of these topics, you know, they need a show devoted purely to themselves. You know, a whole show just nothing but this social justice warrior radical goofiness and all this other stuff we're talking about. Just needs its own show. Just one episode all to that. But anyways, is anything good going on? We've been talking about all this terrible stuff. Oh gosh. Been talking about all this horrible stuff. To me, this stuff is horrible. I don't know. Maybe I brought it up. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I'm the one who brought up all this radical stuff, because it's been bothering me lately. All this politically correct stuff has been bothering me. Maybe I brought it up and it's my damn fault. I don't know. But I don't know. What excitement is going on with you, Jimmy? Besides getting sick. I know that's not exciting. I know that doesn't feel good. We've all been there with the flu. Anything good going on in your life? Feel free to share it. We mind hearing some positive stuff. You know, now you're sitting at home with the flu, and now you're all worked up over all this stuff. Let's see. Jimmy says, I have zero white guilt. Yeah, that's one of the things here. I have zero shame for the past. It is what it is. Bad shit happens, and it's how you react to said bad shit that makes all the difference. I know my family's history, my country's history, and so on. I'm not happy about how we came along, but it was a different time, and things were done and thought about differently than we do in modern times. Hell, bloodletting used to be considered a smashing idea, and leeches were as good as medicine. We grow, we learn, we advance. The past is just that. Leave it there and move forward. I couldn't agree with you more on that. And like, I seen something about, what was it, Kevin Hart or whatever, speaking of the past, and he was going to do the award ceremony, and I don't know if this is old news or whatever. Maybe it's old, I don't know, but seen something about they were pulling him from doing the awards over some old Twitters or something like that. And like I said, this might be old news now. I don't know. I'm not keeping up on current events. Part of that is for my mental health's sake, to be honest with you, because when I kept up with the news all the time, I mean, it was really started taking its toll on my spirits. And but anyways, I saw some stuff about he was supposed to be doing the Academy Awards or something, and then got pulled off of it because of some tweets from like years ago or something, you know. And there's been a lot of people demonized over what they've said on Twitter and that stuff. It's just, you know, to me, it's like, you know, in going with what you're talking about, Jimmy, is that, yeah, I mean, we learn, we grow, and to be held accountable for stuff from so long ago, and especially to be held accountable for shit other people did, you know, that other people did. Not you, but your dad or your grandfather or your great-great-grandfather. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. You know, to expect me to pay for somebody else's crimes. It's, you know, it's not logical. It's not logical. And, I like the point you were making about the leeches being good medicine and that stuff. That was good. Because, we're supposed to grow. We're supposed to learn. And take what we've learned and use it and have an improved present. And the mistakes we make now, learn from them and have an even better future. I mean, that's, common sense is what you're preaching about there, Jimmy. Common sense. And maybe you're right. Common sense is not common anymore. Wow. Geez, let's see. Time is, oh my gosh, it's 2:21. Oh gosh, I gotta wrap it up. Oh my gosh, I've been on here for 2 hours and 21 minutes. Oh my goodness. Like, gonna be breaking some kind of record or something here. Wow. But I gotta wrap it up. Oh man, the pollster has to get on himself. I gotta get busy. Got some presents to wrap. I got my fat self. I gotta tell to get on the treadmill. Paul, get on the treadmill. Paul, do the treadmill. Paul, walk on the treadmill. I gotta do that. That's kind of my thing after wasted lunch. Get on that treadmill. But I gotta wrap it up. Let's see. What's Jimmy got to say here before I go on here? Jimmy says, nice side job going till today. Going back to work from a 2-week layoff. Yeah, that sucks. And me, of my last classes is in June for my apprenticeship training. And I'll be at my full pay scale. Good. Which will friggin' rock. Because I'm pulling anchor at this company and setting sail for a Cleveland company that pays scale across the board. Right on. I enjoy my life and try my hardest to not complain about crappy things that happen to or for me. It could be a lot worse. Good friends, like able family. I can't complain. Wow. Well, that's good. Good for you, dude. Glad to hear it for you. Mike says, have a good day. Well, and I want to wish you guys a good day also. And I want to say thanks for participating very much, guys. And like I said, I don't know why I keep talking about what I want to do with the show. I think that if I talk about it, then I'm going to plan for it. I'm going to do the things to prepare for it, to make it happen, to where I can get the show going, to where I can have specials, to where we're sitting around, Jimmy says, great show, sir. This has been one of the best in my book. We need to rehash this subject. Yes, we need to, and we will. We will go over this. Like I said, it'd be fantastic material and subject to go over in person. It'd be one of these days I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have a couple cameras and somebody, kind of switching cameras or something. I would love to have that capability, and I know it doesn't take that darn much. Well, it takes some money I don't have, to be honest with you, but if I plan for it, if I plan for it, I can make it happen somehow. I've got to, I keep talking about it, which means it's obviously part of a dream of mine, right? If I keep talking about it, then that obviously is a goal of mine, a dream, a pursuit. And so maybe I need to write that down and put that on my refrigerator, put that on my wall, and turn that into a goal so that I work towards it. I have something, which I've been needing more meaning anyways. Jimmy says, I so want to be on the show sometime soon. Well, I so want you to be on the show sometime soon, and we're going to have to do that. I'm going to get off of here, and thank you so much for participating. Jimmy, Mike, Sean. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Jimmy, Mike, Sean. I think I got everybody covered. But thank you guys for participating so much. Jimmy, you're still on here, so thanks a lot, dude. We're going to do this again. Going to end up talking about these things again. But let's see. Jimmy says, a common relatability is what you have in spades, sir. That is the key to it. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much. And you've got some really good information and very knowledgeable about a lot of great subjects and issues that, you know, we need to expand and explore upon in the future, because I think there's a lot of ears that need to hear some of the things that we're talking about. You know, maybe, I don't know, you know, there's something about letting thoughts out, and sometimes these thoughts start to grow. So, you know, kind of like seeds. We need to water them babies. You know, it's what I like to think of the show as sometimes, kind of like a little garden. You know, kind of nurture it, make it grow a little bit. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to have to hop off of here. But I'm also going to say thank you to anybody who watches this episode. Thanks for taking the time to watch. I don't know how the heck I'm going to title this show. It's gotten really, we went really big on a lot of things. But let's see, Jimmy says, I try. And yes, we should. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Jimmy. You too. And I'll go against the grain of the common norm and say, God bless. There, I'm being offensive now. But anybody who watched, thanks for watching. Look out for your fellow brothers and sisters out there. Stay out of trouble. And I will see yous later, all right? Goodbye.